Okay, so this is an alternate future of the world. So I do technically have a say in what happens, but chat can still request things. That's how. So that's how we're going to do this. This is a blank world map. The map type is goal stereographic. If anyone's so the map that I'm using is the world map is the goal stereographic map is the advanced goal stereographic map projection of the world map on a map chart. So this is a clean world map, so nothing is already colored in. So, I forgot I turned tolerance up to 100%, so I have to color in all of Russia because all of these islands I probably should have gotten a higher resolution of the map. Come on. My grandma was in the room, so now we're going to. So I guess we're going to simulate the Russo-Ukrainian War. I have no idea where the borders stand today, so we're also going to turn off anti-aliasing. I shouldn't have colored in Ukraine anti-aliasly. So now this is aliased, which I don't like aliased rendering. I think it looks pretty ugly, but we are going to have to do this. I have no idea what the current progressions are. I believe it's right around to the Dnieper River. Which I believe goes from like here. I believe it's like somewhere around here. No, that is way too much for progress. I mean, I guess it's probably very, very incorrect. So the war in Gaza will probably continue. So the war in Gaza would probably continue with no major progress on either side. So let me change my colors real quick. So a bit of progress here, a bit of progress there. Like, I guess something. I mean, I guess Israel's really just trying to invade Gaza. So the war will have, like, minor progressions. But other than that, nothing, don't expect much to come out of anything, I guess. There are other wars, like the Syrian Civil War, but I'm not going to go into detail with those because, like, I guess the Middle East is, I mean, probably not, but, like, with enough funding, Israel does push in, but then, and also, let me ever so slightly redraw the borders, but this will be anti-aliased. There we go. Just so actually alias that. So basically, yeah, this is probably too much, but either way, in my opinion, there would probably just be, like, no progression in these areas. Like, Palestine might be able to push back a little bit, but, like, there would probably be, like, very little progression on the map. Like, I guess there would be a little bit, but, like, that's basically it. Again, basically, most war progression isn't really going to happen. So, now, we are going to jump around in time a little bit. I will show layers here also. So, basically, eventually, like, we are going to, like, jump around a few years just because. So basically, starting with the Russo-Ukrainian War, which eventually a ceasefire is agreed to, and the war ends because, like, Russian troops would just get bored and leave. So now we can alias that, and same thing with the war in Gaza. Well, I guess it wasn't really, I guess that wouldn't really end the ceasefire. Let's aliasly give that to Palestine real quick. But Israel takes Gaza in return to recognize Palestine as an independent nation. Yeah. Yes, I will have to do the second Sand War. I just had to finish that up really quickly. I have no idea who would be the aggressors. So let's just say Algeria invades Morocco with to get Western Sahara to recognize them. But France supports Morocco. But they're not going to trigger Article 5 because that would make Algeria easily lose. And I kind of want to make this a little more interesting. So, I won't, like... Oh, wait, Algeria invade Western Sahara? Okay. I call myself a history nerd. I don't really know much about Africa. I don't know much about Africa, but I know a lot about, like, other continents. Specifically North America, and I know, and South America, and like, Europe and stuff. But other than that, oh yeah, and, like, Asia, Oceania. I guess I know a lot. I mean, I know stuff about basically any continent. Yeah, well, yeah, Morocco would actually be the aggressors here. Because, I would actually flip the colors. I'm actually going to flip the colors. So, Morocco is the aggressor. France supports Morocco. There. Oh. Now, basically, I think this would probably be kind of interesting because, like, I guess France. Because Morocco is the aggressor here, they would probably make, light. Why is that anti-aliased? They would probably make light advances in the... They would probably, probably smaller than that, but... They would probably invade a little bit into Algeria, but they would also probably try to cut off Algeria from Western Sahara. With that, now they take more of Western Sahara. I guess France does get a naval... France does end up getting a naval landing. Right around here. But Algeria does start pushing into Morocco through here. Yeah. Well, yeah, France would probably be... Okay, let me actually recolor that. Let me recolor that, actually. Wait, no, that's anti-alias, so now... So let me anti-alias the rest. So let me actually get rid of that. Now France and their allies would probably... So I guess Morocco just continues. I had to turn my mic around just so you can hear me more clearly. Morocco would basically be going up into, like, northern Algeria, with Algeria pushing in, they kind of want to get down all the way to there, and so Algeria actually gets an so Algeria gets Mauritania so that they can move troops through, so that they can move their troops more quickly into so that they can move their troops into Western Sahara and kind of catch the Moroccans by surprise. So they start to liberate a little bit of Western Sahara. Oh. Yeah, the Arab League isn't. I do have one conflicting point. The Arab League isn't really a military alliance because a lot of the nations in the alliance don't have great relations with each other. I won't make them get involved. But yeah, Singapore actually has more people than Mauritania. I only put Mauritania as a supporter so that Algeria could move their troops through them. Yeah, well, yeah, Singapore's right all the way down here. Now, a few other countries with good relations with France would support, like Germany, probably. Okay, no, probably not Germany, but whatever. Oh, wait. Probably, maybe actually the United States, but that would make it too unfair. Iran and Saudi Arabia hate each other. I'm not going to get involved on the same side. I would say Saudi Arabia would support. Oh no, not that color. They wouldn't get involved like that. They would probably just be a support country. I'll put Saudi Arabia and Libya. Sure. Oh, that's alias. Oh, no, that's anti-aliased. I have to alias that, so now basically Morocco kinda screwed up. I can't really curse in chat, so weird. I can't really curse in chat because my parents will get mad at me and, like, delete my channel or something. I might get a community guideline strike as well because, okay, whatever. Germany has good relations with Algeria. KSA would be Morocco. Iran would be Algeria. Yeah, I saw it. Oh. Okay, so... Yeah, that would cause some tensions in the Arab League. Or probably not. But Libya would probably get involved on Algeria's side. Nah, bro, what do you mean I roasted an entire country? We've been going for about 20 minutes already. What the heck? Also, I will draw a peace treaty for Russia and Ukraine because I forgot to do that already. Basically, there would only be minor border changes, like Russia probably wouldn't get Crimea. A bit of this, like, I guess a little bit of land would go to Ukraine, and then Ukraine would get a little bit of land, and Russia would probably get a little like this. I don't really know, because Russia kind of was supporting Donbass pretty hard. Russia was funding the violence in Donbass. And they sponsor an orchestrate, I believe. So did I just scroll all the way to Kazakhstan? I probably drew kind of I mean, that's World War III. So Morocco's kind of falling a bit. Actually, no, I won't do that. Even though Germany has good relations with Algeria, I don't think they'll intervene. I guess a few other countries in the Arab League would support Morocco. Possibly Oman, maybe? I don't really know. Egypt? Nah, I actually don't think so. But, like, I don't really know politics. Oh, yeah, I should probably do Moldova, Romanian Union, because that would honestly be pretty cool. So the Romanian Moldovan Union is also now a thing. I think everyone thought for a few decades that America and Canada would unite, but honestly, as an American, that's not going to happen. India. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, I was kinda not focusing on this. Like, Algeria would take, nope, that's anti-aliased. So Algeria would probably, like, progress a bit along the border. And then I guess capitulate. Oh, wrong, wrong thing. Oh no, let me alias that, actually. Okay, so just get rid of that color. Next is that color, next is that color, and that color. There are some border colors. Now, there would be a slight border chain. There would be some slight changes in the map. I don't really think these wars would cause too much of a border change. I guess a bit of northern Morocco would. I guess a bit of northern Morocco would be given up. Make a united Scandinavia. That wouldn't happen immediately. I do have to get a map of Canadian provinces for this. I would have to, advance. Okay. Duplicate. Okay, sorry. Sorry for that interruption. Oh, wait. That's Winkle Triple, so the world's curved on that one. I guess use the simple one since that's Mercator. No, that's No, that's Gull Stereographic, I believe. Yeah, that is Gull Stereographic. No, that could be Times. No, that isn't Times. It's not even. It could be Miller Cylindrical. No, that's not Miller Cylindrical. It's not that. It's Gull Stereographic. It's actually Gull Stereographic. Wow, the map is Gull Stereographic. I guess I can show major cities, but I don't want to. I can run. So, I guess ignore my yapping. Import from phone. Okay, back. Wait. Oh yeah, I have to expand that. No, adjust layers, layer properties. I guess make that semi-transparent? I'm trying to fit Quebec onto this thing. Oh, I'm attempting to fit Quebec onto that onto this map is a massive pain. Oh wait. Like, can I just delete the layer? Like, can I just delete that layer? Layer, delete layer. Okay, good. Now wait, can I actually run a script? I'm still yapping. No, shortcuts. No. Ah, yes, that's probably even more of a yap than I'm doing. Yeah, my YouTube chat is definitely drunk. Why? I can't. Wait, if I stretch that... Oh yeah, Antarctica isn't shown on the map, so just, like, stretch it to about that point? And then move it a little further north, and then stretch it downwards. I'm doing a lot of cropping. Move that up again, then pull it down, move it up, pull it down. Oh no, I made certain parts of the map too big as well, so now I have to, like, line that up with Quebec. About. So now switch to that. So then switch to that, trace on the line. Yes, this is a very tedious process. This is a very tedious process to do. I have it about lined up. Yeah, much better. Yeah, that's probably better. Wait, can I just, like, add a line? No, I can't put a normal line. Yeah, just... So independence of Quebec would immediately make America the second largest country. Oh wait, I can just draw another line on it again. Oh wait, that line already exists. There's no need to reinforce the line because it already exists. I guess I'll try to go around New Brunswick. Then Newfoundland and Labrador. So we just have to trace around Labrador, which is going to be an absolute pain. But I can't. What I can do is use lines for the first two ones. Oh wow, white. The United States would not declare war on China unless, the United States wouldn't declare war on China normally. Also, there is the 2024 presidential election, which I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to say who wins the election because we're more focused on geopolitics, not internal politics of a country. I also don't want to start an argument. I also don't want to start an argument over who would win, because the majority of my audience is American, so... But I'm not going to try to disrespect anyone's political beliefs, because what you believe is what you believe. There's no changing that. Well, there is. Well, I guess you can. Okay, now Quebec is independent. So I did get some of the borders inaccurate, but other than that, I got them pretty good. I had to do a lot of tracing there. So the maritime provinces would probably just go ahead and join the United States. So we would get we would get 4 new states admitted to the Union. So, assuming that Puerto Rico and the District of Columbia are already states now, we would get 56. We would have a 56-star flag. I think I can just delete that layer. China might try to invade Taiwan, but so the United States would probably also form a Pacific alliance with nations like Indonesia, the Philippines, Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand. I probably named, and Thailand too. I probably named all of the nations that I was going to even put in the alliance. Tibet would probably get independence. Yeah. So, next. Then Belarus joins Russia. Now, this is kind of a controversial statement, but in my opinion, since Russia and Belarus already have very close economic ties, I believe a union's basically subject to happen. Another thing is that Abkhazia and South Ossetia might gain independence, but considering that Armenia stopped supporting Nagorno-Karabakh, or however it's pronounced, yeah, I actually call it, whenever I'm talking about an alternate future and I say that America forms a Pacific alliance, I call it the Pacific Treaty Organization, because we already have the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO for short. Yeah. Another thing that I forgot to do is the formation of the East African Federation, which the Constitution, I believe, has the Constitution was... So, in the future, the East African Federation will probably form because the Constitution would be ratified by all of the member states, and they would and then they would and then after that, the Union would be in effect. The East African Federation would also have a lot of influence on Zambia and the DRC and countries like that. I guess they're neighbors in general. So the East African Federation has the possibility to become a very powerful nation in Africa. It would be the 10th largest nation in the world, becoming larger than both Algeria and the DRC. So, the French Civil War. That would be hilarious. And then we go to French Guiana, which is French Guiana. That's hilarious. I'll actually do that. So, let's say blue is Christian and green is Muslim. And then we have NATO, which would probably back the Christians. Oh, and then we have French Guiana, which is French Guiana. So French Guiana would probably rebel as, like, this yellow state. Corsica. Same with Corsica. Okay, dark blue are NATO peacekeepers, so Christians will... I guess Christians will be red or something. I will anti-alias that. So basically, I'll represent the Muslims in green. Oh, yellow is French Guiana. I guess I have no idea what random areas I would put the Muslims in. I guess probably areas near Andorra and Spain. I don't really know where there's highly prominent areas of Muslims in France, but I guess this would be one of the first times we would have a religious war in a while. This is kind of like the English Civil War. So French Guiana would be like bright green, sure. Sure, I'll make French Guiana bright green. I doubt France would even want to keep an overseas department like that. there would be quite a bit of fighting on... There would be quite a bit of fighting, even, I think, of course, so then the NATO peacekeepers would probably come. I believe the first one to react would probably be Spain. So NATO will be represented in dark blue. Sardinia, which is part of Italy. I really only colored in Sardinia so I could color in all of those stupid islands in Spain. The three I mean, they're not stupid. But probably Germany as well.
Hey, Papa.
Oh, wait. I probably should have muted myself. Gosh, my parents keep walking in on me. I hate it. So, Germany would probably take Alsace-Lorraine, or liberate it. Italy would start invading, Italy would kind of invade probably up to like here. Spain would also start coming up this way. The British would do a crossing the British would cross the English Channel because the British are just good at that. Oh wait, did I color in the Faroe Islands? Whatever. I also colored in a bit of Ireland. I guess Ireland, I mean, I guess Ireland's Catholic, so it's not really, it's not really in NATO, but I think it would help anyways. Because they're technically peacekeeping forces, we're just not going to draw them as advances. So, of course, D-Day basically happens again. The British get into Normandy, and I guess... How do you know? What do you mean? I mean, they say that I walk weird. Yeah, I actually, most people say that I walk weird because, like, my right foot is, like, twisted whenever I walk. I have no idea why. I have no idea why I actually do that. So now Switzerland is still neutral after all this time because Switzerland will permanently stay neutral in like all of these wars, even the French Civil War. the Muslims are pushed out of Brittany, and now basically Corsica and French Guiana aren't invaded because they just... So, there we go. I guess that there you go. The French Civil War is over now. So I guess the thing... So now French Guiana and Corsica are now independent. France now has a new government set up in it. There are light territorial changes. Now, I will put light territorial changes, but, like, if anyone... I have to blow my nose. Now the French borders look better up a bit. So, the United States also kinda wants to spread its influence. But there are many... Well, I guess every country, even, I guess China also kinda wants to invade Taiwan, because, they probably think that they could get Taiwan before, Article 5 could be triggered. So, that's, oh no, anti-alias that. So, China sends their navy to blockade the island. So, I kind of show the navy like this. So they do blockade the island. But Article 5 is triggered on every alliance that America... Well, I guess America's only really in 2 alliances. Now, I'm not going to make India join the war because that would just not real. I guess that would make the war very hectic. And it would probably result... It possibly would result in nuclear Armageddon or something like that. There we go. Japan. So the Philippines also intervene. Indonesia, which, gosh, Indonesia has so many islands. That's enough. A lot of countries have these little islands. I have to get every PTO member involved real quick. Thailand, maybe even, literal Vietnam would join, because America and Vietnam have good relations. And of course, why did I just do that? America, Canada, Europe, basically any country in NATO. I'm kinda like lazily adding these guys because there's just too many. I'm very lazily coloring in these countries. It's not even important. This isn't really even important. So, basically, So America... So America starts out from Alaska. So America starts moving their navy actually probably from Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. So America starts sending their navy from Pearl Harbor, which was also heavily used during World War II. So that would land right about here. I probably didn't get the dimensions of the Navy exactly right, but I probably got pretty close. They would also most likely go from Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands and a few of their puppet states. So there were severe naval clashes and So there were severe naval clashes. Basically, the invasion begins after a while. Even the Philippines, so North Korea also joins. That's definitely going to go well, isn't it? Now, North Korea begins by pushing into South Korea a bit, and then they stop. The American Navy also splits off and bolts for Hanoi, which is taken over in a matter of weeks. Especially with Vietnam on their side, which was also we are going. Southern China. They use Hanoi to invade up into southern China, near Thailand also sends troops from across this line because they somehow got military access from. They kind of threatened Myanmar, Laos, something to get military access or the ability to move troops through their country. Now, realistically, China wouldn't be falling this fast, but they're dealing with a lot of countries here, so they might actually collapse very quickly. If this happened in real life, they probably would. North Korea basically also threatens to North Korea threatens to send their nukes. The CIA does some suspicious stuff to Kim Jong-un. You get the point. North Korea also then capitulates. North Korea then capitulates days later. They do fire some of their nukes. Even though they do fire some of their nukes. One at Taipei. They actually nuked Taipei. They also knew Honolulu. Okay, but it got struck down, like, but Pearl Harbor or something struck that down. They nuked, Busan, and, I guess they kind of redo, they do, I believe, they nuke Osaka or something. Osaka probably isn't there, but they nuke Ho Chi Minh City. And they actually just did a and then America retaliated, and then they retaliate by nuking Pyongyang. So North Korea has some rebuilding to do, to say the least. Shortly after Shanghai, it's not, a bomb is also dropped, right around here, and a few bombs, like, okay, no, these aren't, okay, no, I should probably represent them within a lighter gray. These aren't nukes, these are just regular bombs. So, those are some bombs. Maybe even Beijing, Shanghai. China has a lot of major cities, so, the areas near Hong Kong and Macau, some other cities. I guess you did say, you did say that, the USA would declare war at China. So I guess you did. So I guess ask and you shall receive. Sure. Now the blue team didn't really want to use nuclear weapons because they thought that would be too extreme. They thought that would be too extreme. So they just used bombs. They just used regular bombs instead. So because the border was bombed, they had a very quick time invading through China, and they break through the border. They have a relatively easy time taking stuff. And now, so they also, I guess they use a continuous bombing strategy. They kind of use a lot of cluster. They also do a lot of cluster bombing and detonate a lot of bombs in the same area. I doubt that's the correct definition of cluster bombing, or it might actually be the correct definition. I don't really know. So now, so now, um, Tibet also rebels. Because Tibet's practically mountain. Basically, all they really need to use is armed militias to neutralize. I mean, to like get territory. East Turkestan also tries to. East Turkestan also begins their independence process. So they're technically still rebelling. Mongolia joins as a third party. Mongolia joins as a third party to just... And then the rest forms Manchuria. So the blue team doesn't really need to progress around Korea anymore because China has basically set itself on fire. It's now in a bloody civil war, kind of like around World War II. So, a lot of bombing tactic. The pink team, yellow team, purple team, and cyan team are basically using Minutemen / militias because but they're being funded by countries, so they are being funded by world powers, so Mongolia is actually funding this on their own. Well, they're not funding it, they're just invading China. This is being funded by Russia, this being funded by the Stan nations, kind of like Pakistan, this being funded by India. And then the blue team is like the Democratic China. And now, time for more cluster bombing. In fact, China was actually forced to use trench warfare because Shanghai was bombed but rebuilt, but it was kind of rebuilt. They're kind of trying to rush to Beijing, so the blue team does get into here. Yeah, Russia did actually betray China, so... Basically, give me Poland right now. There you go. I will give these countries their backing teams. So, this one would be Russia. This one would be the Stan nations. And this would be India. So, China is basically locked into a civil war, bloodier than before. Now, I'm really only focusing on the blue team because that's basically the one that started it all, but we have a little bit of progress made by the Mongolians. Also, there's a lot of deaths in this. So Beijing was captured, but the CCP is not the PRC, the People's Republic of China, isn't collapsing yet because they're just confident that they can win this. Now, Xinjiang, or East Turkestan, actually. East Turkestan does make a bit of progress. With the... I mean, now the CCP is just landlocked. Make it so that Netherlands join NATO. The Netherlands are already in NATO. I'm just lazily coloring in these countries because they're not really the point of this. The point of this is just the collapse of China for further solidifying America as the #1 world power. So basically, after intense bombing, the blue team, or the PTO, or America just takes a lot of land. The PRC, or the CCP's regime is kind of falling fast. Now Manchuria does push a little farther, but this is basically the extent of all the land that they'll get. Tibet starts going out this way. This is, again, most of the land that they'll ever get. East Turkestan also goes out that way. Leaving America to and then the CCP capitulates. They kind of capitulate to the Americans because most of these countries got most of the land that they'll ever get, like I keep saying. So I'm going to have to trace some of the borders here. So, yeah, you're going to have to watch me boringly trace pace over all of this land, but this will be aliased. Now they're not getting all of the territories that they want. I think East Turkestan didn't really get enough land. I do kind of want some of the land gained by the treaty or the Treaty of Beijing to be edited. So there's Tibet. So there's Tibet's borders. And, now this is, I don't think East Turkestan would see that much. So East Turkestan would... also Korea. Sorry for not talking that much. I'm just busy drawing all these borders and stuff. So that's basically everything for the peace treaty. We now have to recolor every country. So after this, so Poland makes the Warsaw Pact. Nah. No, Poland's already in NATO, so that wouldn't work. I'm sorry, that wouldn't work. I guess I would consider... So also, Abkhazia becomes an independent nation. That's more of an interesting border. And America tries to annex Cuba. It actually succeeds. I'm not really... I guess it's just a change in the map. Okay, the Netherlands also defeated the sea. Also, this territory. Also, this territory, this territory also gets annexed by Mongolia. And Bougainville gets their independence in 2027. We're currently in around 2031, so... And the Democratic Republic of the Congo joins the East African Federation, which now has access to the Atlantic Ocean. And this would also spark conflicts with Angola for Cabinda, which Angola is not willing to give up easily. So the East African Federation is one of the largest it's the largest country in Africa, and is one of the largest worldwide, being comparable to India in size, which is about the 7th largest country. So another world that I kind of would like to imagine is this battle, or the war of the War of the Nile. I mean, the Nile War. I kind of like to call this thing the Nile War, where Sudan and Egypt declare war on Ethiopia because Ethiopia wants to dam the Nile. So they start a whole war over that. And here is also our supporter list. Saudi Arabia, probably Morocco, and Oman too. Now this is support for the Ethiopian cause. Algeria, Libya, Iran, Somalia actually supports this cause. And the EAF actually doesn't support. They kind of remain neutral. So this causes a bit of tension, I should say. So we've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes. This is really fun to do. I love how so many events can happen in just about 2 decades. We're kind of close to about the 2040s. basically Ethiopia, what's left of Ethiopia is basically Ethiopia's kind of weak. This is kind of like the Italian invasion of Ethiopia, but it goes much better. So, there's that. Ethiopia then capitulates. The peace treaty is a little something like this. Sudan annexes this territory. The EAF actually hops in on the peace treaty. In my opinion, I should probably use a 3 for the borders. Much better. The EAF does take a little bit of territory. Somaliland is recognized as an independent nation. And Somalia takes a bit of land. So Somalia takes a little bit of land to compensate for the loss of Somaliland. Even though they basically did nothing in the war. Oh yeah, I forgot I'm still streaming. So that's, I think Ethiopia probably would have ceded more land, but like, oh, there's not enough action in North and South America, so let's just do this. Canada gets Alaska. Okay, just kidding. Just kidding, that'll never happen. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that'll never happen. I'm only doing so a North American Union is finally formed between the Americans and the Canadians. After Quebec got their independence, the only thing that was really blocking the Union was the British Commonwealth, or whatever that collection of post-colonial British countries are. So that is the beautiful North American Union. Which is easily the most powerful and largest country in the world. You didn't spam. And after this, Abkhazia is integrated into Russia. Abkhazia is formally integrated into Russia. And Belarus rebels. Yeah, this part's kinda mundane. So, of course, I guess the Free Belarus movement, basically a Belarusian rebellion, but not the current Belarus. So after the Belarusian rebellion, Russia's power in the world is beginning to collapse. Even after the United States and Canada united. Okay, back from that thing. So the North and after Greece takes North Macedonia. Sure. That may or may not cause a third Balkan War. I believe North Macedonia is in NATO, so I guess it's just, like a union of sorts. I guess it would be kind of like, it would be more like a union of sorts. Because, whatever. Okay, so, next have, so the democratic China also is overthrown by the PRC again. So now, so the CCP tries to take control of. So the new CCP wants revenge. Also, I do have to point something out. Korea should be... North Korea should have been annexed by South Korea, so now it's just Korea. So basically, World War III. I guess now we have a big CCP. Okay, I guess I'll just give them their, like... I guess I'll give Bulgaria their World War I claim. I don't know, I should use 3. I guess that's like the World War I borders. So China began. So now China begins to they kind of start by invading Vietnam, which technically would trigger Article 5. So Article 5 does get triggered. So Article 5 does in fact get triggered. Russia is also on the red team with a few others. Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, Iraq, Syria, South Africa, Venezuela. Oh wait, no, Cuba's part of America now. So I guess now the blue team has Japan. Japan also joins the blue team. Because we have multiple islands occupied by Indonesia, I'll just give that. Thai. Oh. No. Tibet is already independent. Oh. Well, Tibet was independent. They were annexed by China. What is this Balkan thing going on? I'm sorry, I don't really want to edit borders in the Balkans. It's not the main focus of the video, but if you want me to, then I will. I mean, I won't make the border treaty as unfair, but like clearly in favor of Bulgaria. That's kind of... I don't really want Bulgaria to lose most of their land. I guess I'll make Hungary take Transylvania. And I could make Hungary take Transylvania. Or like the areas that they gained in World War II. Romania, if you're wondering why Romania is such a weird board, also has Moldova. Romania and Moldova united immediately when the stream began. Near immediately, so I guess I'll have Hungary take Transylvania back. That would honestly be kind of cool to have, like... I guess I would make them do that. So... they kind of, like, betray the Allies or something. Or, I mean, not the Allies, NATO or something. I don't really know. But that is kind of a cool scenario. Chat kind of got the ball rolling. I guess that's actually kind of cool. I'll have that's, I mean, Kaliningrad's part of Russia. These are in NATO. The Nordic Union is also in NATO. I mean, yeah, I know. Yeah. That, like, NATO French protectorate. I mean, I kind of want to keep the, I mean, no, Corsica should stay. Switzerland is gonna stay neutral because, yes. Turkey, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Armenia is going to be on the red team. Saudi Arabia on the blue. Egypt. I guess Egypt on the blue. Ethiopia on the red. Somalia on the blue. Somaliland on the red. I think the EAF on the blue. Yemen on the red, Oman and the UAE on the blue, India, Qatar and Kuwait are also in like that Gulf defense thing. I guess the STAN countries would remain neutral except for Afghanistan and Pakistan. I guess that would make... I guess Egypt and Sudan would have to support the Reds because Israel would be on... Wait, no, that would cause a little bit of tension. I guess Palestine then on the red? I don't really know. Lebanon's in the axis of resistance, so they would be on the red team. Oh no. Wait, no, crap, I'm doing anti-aliased fillings. No, I can't use anti-aliased fillings like that. I have to use aliased fillings, because then... if it's anti-alias, then the borders would look all weird. So I have to sadly undo all of that. I was making such good progress. Okay, now... okay, now I can begin doing... now I have to begin redoing all of this. And Armenia's on the red. Lebanon is in the axis of resistance, so red. Saudi Arabia on the blue, Egypt and Sudan on the blue, Israel. So then Palestine would be on the red, Jordan on the blue, Kuwait on the blue, Qatar, no, Yemen would be on the red. Ethiopia, this would be on the blue. Somaliland would be on the red. Djibouti on the red. Sure. Morocco, Western Sahara on the red. Ukraine, Free Belarus. Oh, why did I make it on the red? What? I can't make Russia help because of, I'm sorry, but I can't make, Russia help. Cyprus would be on the blue. Baltics. versus so that's nice. Well, that should be on the red. Greenland's on the blue. Quebec's gonna chill. I guess, I mean, none of this is really gonna get faded, so there's kind of no point. Colombia, Brazil, Mexico, Panama, India, Thailand. Myanmar would be on the red team, Cambodia on the blue, and Laos on the red. I was past you. It's fine. I literally don't care if anyone passes me in subscribers. So, now, let the fighting begin. So immediately, Serbia attempts to take Kosovo, but this goes horribly, and immediately Bulgaria starts quickly falling too. Srpska tries to rebel, also fails. Hungary starts invading Romania. Ukraine starts to invade Moldova. And Moldova is annexed. Even though Russia also attempts to start pushing into free Belarus, which is semi-successful. Oh no, wrong color. Wait, did I make both colors? So Ukraine was expecting an invasion by Russia, but this invasion never happens because Russia is too busy trying to get rid of free Belarus. They're so busy doing that even Kaliningrad falls. Somaliland is taken over. Djibouti is liberated, Djibouti is taken over, and they kind of continue fighting in Africa. The EAF, which is substantially strong, starts quickly pushing into Ethiopia. Sudan. Ethiopia quickly falls. So this war will have several treaties, but we're only going to do one once the entire war is over. India is surrounded on all sides, which puts them in a very bad position. And of course, China tries to do something very dumb. Navally invade the United States. Armenia very quickly falls, but Turkey begins to struggle. Palestine is gone. Lebanon is gone. So Palestine and Lebanon capitulate very quickly because now pushing into Venezuela is pretty hard. Yeah, blue will win this. It's basically predetermined that blue's gonna win. Venezuela somehow pushes into Brazil. Colombia starts my mom's side of the family likes to talk about genealogy a little too much. America starts navally invading Venezuela as well. They arrive right around here. They quickly start enclosing in. So that invasion speed starts speeding up. Venezuela is completely kicked out. Oh wait, now it's a 2-2. Guyana then joins the war in hopes of reclaiming lost lands, which now the American forces quickly cut off Venezuela as Venezuela capitulates very quickly, being very fast to fall. Now South Africa is going to be very hard to invade anyone. I mean, to invade. And very hard for any... And it would be very hard to invade anyone from it. Quickly, Yemen is also very fast to fall. They take Skatora and then start marching down. Oman even helps a little bit, and Yemen doesn't even capitulate. It only falls. Morocco falls to the red team. That will have to be liberated soon. On the European front, Bulgaria has capitulated, and same with Serbia. And now Romania. So the invasion of Myanmar begins and is quite quick because Myanmar is very weak. They take the southern portion and start pushing up. India starts helping. Hanoi is taken because Hanoi was taken because the Chinese were being dumb and just trying to take Korea and Japan. A few months later, Laos and Myanmar capitulate. The Philippines and Japan try to help to take China. China and India starts trying to annex Kashmir. They take Now China is cut off. Now China is cut off from Pakistan. And Turkey has totally kicked out and Syria and Iran Syria and Iraq have also capitulated. That might actually be copyrighted. Iran is also now. So Iran's defenses are starting to fall a bit. And now the Chinese Navy starts to encircles Korea, Taiwan, Hanoi, Korea sadly falls to the red team. Same with Japan. So Now Iran also starts bombing places. So this is the first time that Iran's been using bombs. Dublin is bombed. Paris, Rome, London, Berlin, Luxembourg, Minsk, Kiev. All, yeah. A lot of, cities in, Georgia's bombed heavily. Iran even starts bombing the lines of, so this pauses the line. Iran literally starts So Iran starts bombing a line. So, I mean, they don't really bomb a line, but they kinda try to resist. So they build a wall, the wall is struck down. Yeah, so the red team starts heavily bombing cities, especially in border countries like Belarus and Ukraine. So, Crimea is bombed. Iran accidentally hits a city in Russia, and so yeah, Iran's bombing range is very far. So this actually makes Russia start to invade Iran, all because of a mistake. So Iran eventually falls to the blue team after intense fighting and heavy bombardment. What are you doing? It means it means bombs. Dark gray means nukes, light gray means, just bombs. Make Brazil leave the war. Okay. Yeah, this would influence a lot of countries in South America, like, heavy, this is so the Taliban also had to be heavily bombarded because, you know, this would allow troops to roll into Afghanistan. And even a little so they would continue up that line, meeting up over there. Meeting up there. The Taliban falls. And India starts pushing into Pakistan. It very quick. Again, it was heavily bombarded. So basically, the entire world is being bombed. China also starts bombing Korea. Busan as well. A little bit in Japan too. Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of heavy bombardment. If anyone's wondering, these are just normal bombs. These light gray dots are just normal bombs. They're not actually nukes. There's already been a death toll of tens of millions, though. And if you're wondering if China's gonna clutch up, they do clutch up. They encircle the Philippines relatively quickly. They start they move their massive navy to encircle the Philippines and attempt to drown them out. The Philippines have already been heavily bombarded, so there's no point to bomb them again. Because the island was basically starved out, it quickly falls to China. Yeah, I was actually going to do the idea where Red tries to invade USA. Let's check up on what Russia's doing. So that's So yeah, Russia also clutched up. China, like America, tries to invade Vietnam. But unlike America, they do it to actually attempt to take over the country. This attempt fails because of a lot of guerrilla warfare happening. But, it doesn't necessarily fail. Also, why has Ho Chi Minh City been nuked? Or I guess it's not called Ho Chi Minh City anymore. But, like, Myanmar has been liberated. Yeah. Blue's now, even though Blue is struggling in one front, they're succeeding in another. Morocco has been liberated. Morocco has successfully been liberated, and so the African front is actually doing very well. And no bombing was actually needed. No bombing actually had to happen, so Asia is a very hectic front right now. Some cities near India are bombed, and then southern Thailand, Jakarta, wherever that is. Yeah, Thailand literally is fighting for its life. China did manage to kick out Thailand, but just barely, again, because of the amount of guerrilla warfare happening. America's China's massive navy goes on to get near Indonesia, which also, which is now occupied by China. Well, it is going to be occupied by China. Again, they try to starve the islands out, which, again, works very well. Now, but it was kind of hard to do this. Is your chat 2 minutes out of date? No. That's too big of a bomb. A lot of bombing on Papua is also a thing. Australia will not be... Luckily, Australia's not getting invaded. Plus, China isn't really interested in invading Australia because they deem it too hot to invade. It really just wasn't worth. It was actually just not really worth invading. Because it was much larger than the countries that it last was invading. And now China starts sending its navy over to the Americas. You probably know where this is going. China's gonna attempt to invade the US, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Yeah. Okay, so Red actually isn't going to win this. Hawaii's surrounded, but it actually isn't captured. America, America again is basically the sleeping giant, even though they're basically already the one who basically needs to help the most. But they finally send the Pacific Fleet over. Mexico does the same. They're not going to fight the Chinese Navy yet because there's a huge gap to close. But they actually send troops out from Alaska and then take all of this. I view all as all as a clear communist, so I don't really know if the Australian invasion. Australia also sends their navy out. In a liberation process for Indonesia, they basically are trying to They also meet with the American Navy. Even New Zealand sends out their navy just as a defensive line. Basically, the Chinese start to struggle around here. The Chinese kind of start struggling around here. Hungary's already on the blue team. The three Balkan nations are Serbia, Bulgaria, and Romania are finally reconquered. And finally, the liberation process begins. Next, the Philippines shall be liberated. In fact, nothing had to be bombed, mainly because these are just naval battles. In fact, near Hawaii, some of the largest naval battles in the Pacific are happening at this point. More liberation. Only India drives out troops of their own accord. Also, this does need a recolor. There we go. After that, Hanoi and Taiwan fall. And the invasion process of China can begin. Ignore why they're pushing into China so much. Quickly, Kaliningrad is captured. Now, the last two red nations left are Russia and China. quickly the Chinese Navy is kicked out. And finally, the blue team was horrified when they saw the blue team was horrified when they saw all the bombing done to them. So in retaliation, China is okay, no, the bombs aren't that big. So China gets severely bombed. Specifically in these areas, and going a little farther upwards. The bombs are all they also accidentally bombed themselves. Yeah, there isn't going. Yeah. Basically, the red team was also severely bombarded. Now, this is kind of unrealistic, but so Russia. So now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Russia. Russia's been pushed back, but everybody knows that Russia can't be invaded. So, how about we do the operation? This is Operation Unthinkable, but it actually happens this time. They try taking Siberia, mainly because it's basically just a cold tundra, and the Russians basically had no purpose in defending it. America starts invading through this way. Okay, and Japan takes the Kurils. So, Russia kinda tries to... keep in mind, they actually waited to start this in the summer. Well, they started it in late spring. So, they have a few months to do the invasion. So, Russia can't use the winter as their ally here. Because they have about half a year to invade all of Russia. And based on current trends, it looks like they're going to get there way before that. Russia basically realizes that they can't win at this point. It's only them. It's literally only them against the world's largest alliance. It was basically predestined that the blue team would always win. It was predestined. China attempted a clutch. It failed. China tried invade. China tried to. Oh, yep. I don't want to reveal things. The Urals are. The Ural. It's around early autumn, and Russia and Siberia is a cold tundra again. They already took over most of it. Now Russia can't really do much with this, so they capitulate. This was kind of the most. So, you'd think that the blue team has won. But no. South Africa still exists. So, the war will really only end when South Africa is gone. They attempt a coup, which actually works. So they launch a coup, and then everything is done. Also, let me show how much bombing they had to use to win that war. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not going to show all of the bombs. Very little bombing had to be done in Siberia because it was basically just a cold tundra. They had to do a bit of it at the border, but... Now, we have to watch this peace treaty. Which, this is going to be one of the most unfair peace treaties ever. We do have to come up with a peace treaty. So, basically, the consequence of all of this was now a lot of the world is wrecked and now has to rebuild itself. This would take about 10 years. This would take well over 10 years to do. Probably closer to 20 because of the amount of bombs used. The red team is now basically non-existent, and so went the CSTO. The world is still not safe. The Antarctic Treaty also expired, but I'm not going to show a country's claims over Antarctica, so let's just say that it's its own country now. Several countries. The cost. This war was even more deadly than World War II, taking the lives of over 100 million people. Even close to double the deaths of World War II. The only country that would be the least affected by this is the United States, which now gets to lie as the hegemon of this destroyed world, which I kind of quoted that from Possible History. When MacArthur became president in 1948, which he didn't in real life. That's just an alternate scenario or something, but. Let me erase that really quick. That's just an eyesore. A lot of countries' governments have been overthrown. And there is nothing left of the CSTO. This war will also cause major problems in the future, but for now, we're free. The world is no longer at war. Nothing for the foreseeable future will happen.